Let's get our next candidate here. And this is a guy that I remember we actually were looking at Joe Schoen. This was the guy that I was interested in back then. And he's gone for interviews. He interviewed last year for the Commanders GM job even. And that's Mike Borgonzi, the Chiefs assistant GM, originally from Everett, Massachusetts there. And trust me, if you hear this man talk for just a moment, you know that this man is from Massachusetts. I mean, he's got the Massachusetts look. Look at the picture. Don't tell me you don't see that.
He looks like, yeah, he looks like he's a pisser.
Didn't I see that guy drunk in the Green Dragon Tavern one time?
Just one time.
He's got the look, and if you listen to him in press conferences, he's definitely got that speech as well. So he graduated from Brown University, though, by the way, which is obviously a very prestigious school. Played fullback in college there too, as well. So he was, a football player in college. He's got a little bit of background from that respect there. Was the assistant recruiting coordinator for Boston College in 07-08. And then went right over the Chiefs, where he's basically stayed at ever since. Minister of College Scouting in 09, manager of football operations in 10, pro scout in 11 and 12, assistant director of pro scouting 13 and 14, director of player personnel 15 to 17, director of football operations 18 to 20, and since 21, he is the assistant GM of the Chiefs. And not only that, if you listen to the way people talk about him, he's not just the assistant GM. He is, quite frankly, the right-hand man to Brett Veach, who is the GM and has been for some years now. Listen, say what you want about the Chiefs. I know it's kind of a bane in some people's existence in football world because, you look at the, like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce thing. Oh. Nobody likes Patrick Mahomes. Quite frankly,
because he's a winner.
Sometimes too. It's the thing about the wives and girlfriends of Chiefs players. There's some people that aren't liked. I mean, obviously the kicker said some kind of controversial things, we'll say, in the offseason. There's definitely been some stuff.
Yeah.
But when it boils down to it, these guys have won 3 Super Bowls, guys.
They've been a very impressive team. They've rebuilt and just looked fantastic in every move. Yes. Now, some people say it's all Patrick Mahomes because he's so talented. Some people say the rest at this point because people have nothing better to say.
But, again, the defense is what's been doing it, and the defense has been built mostly through the draft. If you notice, they're not signing defensive stars every year. They're drafting guys, and you build successfully through the draft. And you can say it's Mahomes all you want, but guess what, guys? Mahomes was not the first quarterback taken. They traded up. They targeted Mahomes point blank, and they have the best quarterback of this generation now because of that.
They did, and they scouted right. He made a lot of right moves. They've rebuilt that offensive line before he got there. They put weapons around him, and like no one talks about it. And you kind of hit it right there in the head. That defense, especially the past 3 years, has been top 5 defense. No one wants to talk about.
Yep.
And when you take a rookie quarterback, you give him one of the best defenses and a good offensive line. Even if he makes a mistake, there's a good shot he's getting the ball back without points on the board and can still win ball games, and it helps build confidence. Look at Russell Wilson with the Seahawks back in 12 years ago whenever he was drafted.
Yep. But look at even guys like Trey Smith, who I think was a 6th-round pick and is one of the best guards in all of the NFL. There's different guys they've gotten, like Leo Chanel, who's the guy that I love coming out of college to Wisconsin. They got, there's a whole bunch of guys you can list and go, wow, great moves. They went ahead and got Matt Ariza this offseason to be their new punter once he got cleared of his charges from prior. Like I said, they've made moves, and they make smart moves.
Yeah.
And listen, if you guys don't want a team like the Chiefs, then I'm
sorry.
Silly.
You're lying.
Go be Jets fans. Seriously.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sit there and kiss butt to the, hail to the chief here at that point, but it's like, this but it's like that is point blank what you have, the best franchise in football. You should be trying to emulate what they're doing right now, and we do that with the people we got in the building. So here's what I got for pros and cons of them. Experience in a well-run franchise, I think that pretty much says a lot. 13 years experience in the same franchise. Again, shows he's easy to work with, shows it's somebody they want to keep around, shows it's somebody that they keep elevating to higher status because this was his first NFL job. 3-time Super Bowl champion, as I mentioned. I think that's a pretty good statement to have there. My only issue with him, he's never been a GM. That's my only issue. Never been a GM. I would like to get somebody who's got some experience. If we go with, a guy like Borgonzi, what I'd like to go ahead and do is get an experienced guy to be alongside him to kind of help him, guide him, so to speak, and not a guy that's after his job, but just a veteran guy who's done it once or twice before, that's fine with being the assistant GM, kind of maybe towards the tail end of his career, that kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a guy that's like wants maybe a ring or two and just wants to. He's a good assistant GM, maybe not the best GM out there, but can give advice.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about a guy later on that I actually think would fit that role if we want to scout him for that there as well too. So, but I don't want to give it away who it is. But like I said, I think that's where we're at. And out of the guys who've never had a GM position, again, maybe I'm biased because I liked this guy a lot a couple years ago. This is the guy I'd be very interested in, point blank. And you take the meeting at the very least with a guy like this because of the resume he's got, because of the resume the team he's been on has. You got to do it.
That, and you also have to look like this, right? So he's coming from a winning organization where he's literally like from the get-go, right? So you start with scouting, Minister of Scouting. Chiefs have done scouting fantastically for over a decade.
Yep.
Who was by this guy. So he's worked his way up the ladder. He worked his way up the rungs. So even if he's not long-term, like which obviously you want, that's something you bring around and bring into your rooms and be like, why are you doing it this way? Like, you boneheads, like, This is how you do it. And which elevates everyone else. Like, it's not just like, hey, do it like this, do it like this. And, like, you can come there. It seems like he's a smart guy that has a, a great accent. Be like, hey, how you do this?
And sometimes it's exactly that. It's just to have a conversation to pick a guy's brain. Like, there are people that I've sat down with in the same industry I'm at. I pick their brains. They pick my brains. We've kind of learned things from each other at that point. And sometimes an interview like that's what it's all about. Even if he's like, this is a guy I probably don't want or I probably can't get, but let's still sit down with him and just pick his brain there. I do think he fits in that category. But again, if you get a chance to get a guy like this, assuming we fire Shane, we don't know that yet. But assuming we do, that's a guy that I'd be highly interested to bring in, at the very least, for a conversation, see what his plan is, and see if he's the guy that can go ahead and do it. So,
if you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please.